Hey guys, what is up? Hopefully this isn't too loud. I might have just blown everyone's eardrums off to the next planet, whatever that planet might be. But welcome everyone to the stream. This is really weird, and I say it's really weird because I'm streaming on a different computer, so I had to sort of change everything. Like everything had to change quickly. So I'm really going like that. That's way too big. Like that's a bit way too big. I think to work on. So we might be putting the just like that, I guess. And that's how the stream is going to work. Okay, it's just for now because this is the first time streaming, so I'm just going to leave it like that, and we'll just work it out as we go ahead. But hopefully it's not too loud. Let me know about the audio. Should it go up a bit? Or is it fine the level it is at right now? Because I'm not too sure. So just let me know. But welcome everyone to the stream. Hopefully everyone's having a good day or, night or evening or whatever it might be. But yeah, we'll just have a chat for a bit. No idea how long the stream will go for. It could go for 2 seconds. It could go for 2 hours. Who knows? But okay, the audio is good. Okay, I wasn't too sure because, as I said, I had to change everything around again, which is a bit annoying. But yeah, welcome everyone to the stream. Okay, we already got Beto Turbo being a bit negative. You are a banana pixel. Is that legitimate? Am I a banana? Hopefully is the quality good? Because once again, it's streaming on a new computer, so I need to fix everything. So is the quality good? Because on my preview screen, it says I'm all green and everything like that. So hopefully I'm all good. But anyway, so yeah, we'll just get to the beginning, the typical stuff from the stream. Welcome everyone to the stream. Hopefully everyone's having a good day, night, good morning, whatever it is. Obviously, if you're new to the stream, we just need a reminder, try and be nice and civil in the chat. When we talk about stuff, don't try and be edgy because no one likes an edgelord, and you're basically probably going to get, I'd say, flossed on and then get kicked out of the chat. I wouldn't say, a dab's too hard, dab's too fierce. So just flossed on and then kicked out of the chat. And then what do you want to call it? If you want to help support the channel or get your question 100% answered or your question 100% read out, you can super chat by clicking the little dollar emblem down the bottom of the chat. It's like a dollar Minecraft thing, if that makes sense. So you can click that and donate through those means if you want to do that. Or you can click the link at the top of the description, which does say streamlabs.com/pagey, whatever you want to do. So yeah. Hopefully everyone's having a good day. Ronnie M, thank you very much for the $10 super chat. Greatly appreciated. Your awesome brother checking in from Delaware, USA. Is Delaware a state or a city? Because I'm terrible with the American cities outside of the top 4, if you want to call it. Delaware. I'm going to say that's a city? It's a state. Damn it. I was wrong. Okay, whatever. Okay, well, there's the fail. Straight away. I had 2 options, the city or state, and I stuffed it up because it definitely wasn't a country. Okay, well, there's the first fail of the day. Dumb Pagey. So, yeah. But, oops, my bad. You looking fresh, Pagey. Well, I copped enough abuse about me having the facial hair that I thought, you know what, I'll shave it. I'll get rid of it for a bit. So yeah, decided to do that. Hopefully if I scroll down here, it doesn't move this. Okay, it doesn't sweat. I can move this page. Awesome sauce. Okay, Brandon, thank you very much for the $1 just for supporting the channel, and the other $1 just for supporting the channel. And then Archit, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. I'm terrible with names, as most of you guys would know. With the $2, what will Reverse Flash do after he gets out? Love heart emoji eye, or love heart eye emoji. Is that the best way to say it? Anyway, I think he's honestly just going to come back to present day to basically say, haha, look what I did. I'm interested because we know he's most likely going to get out, because that Reverse Flash that's showing up in the finale could be a completely different Reverse Flash. We don't know. That could be the Reverse Flash, from 5 years before he gets captured or something, and he just a coincidence that he shows up after that one in the future is dealing with that thing. However, that probably doesn't make sense, and it's the same one, and his hair just changes once he gets out of everything. I'd be interested to see why he feels the need to come back, because why would he get out of a situation where he was going to get executed and go back to a situation where he could possibly get captured again? So maybe there's some massive motive as to why he's going back there, or it's just basically to like a laugh in their faces and say like, Nora, Barry, you were right the whole time and no one listened to you. Because that's the biggest issue I think going into this episode is that Barry knew that Thorne was manipulating Nora and was using Nora to manipulate them. However, then we have what do you call it? So I just need to. So I just need to. Just doing something right here. Sorry. But then we have like Nora and Iris, who have basically convinced Barry not to do any of this and sort of just to think the other way. So it's going to be super interesting to see how everything transpires in this episode and whether it is proven that Barry was right or that's just going to basically be ignored, because it's sort of been frustrating to watch, just sitting there knowing that Barry was right and they're basically just like, oh no, it's all good, don't worry, just ignore it doesn't really matter too much. What's the date? Yeah, okay, sweet. May Cray Wave, hopefully I pronounced that correctly, donated through Streamlabs with the $2. Since Arsenal got to the Europa League final, are you going to go to Azerbaijan for it? I'd rather in the Champions League final they're playing in Madrid, but I will not be going to that final. I'll be watching it on TV though. Actually, can anyone let me know, did Chelsea win or did they lose? Because they were in extra time and I started the stream before that ended, I think. So did Chelsea win or lose? Because if Chelsea made it, that means it's 2 Premier League teams in the Champions League final and 2 Premier League teams in the Europa League. Anyway, but thank you very much for that, May Craywave. And then Joe Giaco, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, with 2 separate $1 donations as well. Thank you very much for that. No, they lost? Okay. RIP the dream then. So let me go through the chat quickly. The Batwoman trailer just dropped? Really? Why would they drop it now? No, that's the official teaser. No, that's the official teaser they dropped a while ago, like a couple of days ago. So for those wondering about Batwoman, the official trailer for that will probably I don't know if anyone remembers this, but if you were watching Arrow when it came out, they released a 5-minute flash trailer, and it was for the pilot, and it showed a lot of the pilot essentially. Expect what do you call it? One for Batwoman. I wouldn't expect a 5-minute one. I think I'd probably expect like a 2-minute one. But expect that in about a week's time. So they're doing the CW upfronts, and that's when they released the Flash trailer back then. And I think they released a Black Lightning trailer, I think, back then as well. So expect a Batwoman trailer or something like that, or a teaser trailer, even though they said that was a teaser, but it was just Batwoman standing on a building, so I really wouldn't count that. Chelsea won. Okay, so it's Arsenal versus Chelsea in the final. That'll be interesting. But yeah, so expect that Batwoman trailer in I'd say basically a week from now. So keep your eyes out for that. And I'll probably do a live stream, or I don't know. Let me know. Would you rather a live stream and we watch the trailer, and then we talk about it in the live stream, or would you want me to do? You know what I might do? I might do a live stream reacting to the trailer, and then I'll do a trailer breakdown of it. I think that's probably the best way to go about it. I think, yeah. So I'll do a live stream, we'll react to it and talk about it, and then I'll do a breakdown if it's worth it. If there's anything worthy of breaking it down, then we'll go and do that. So I think that's the way to go about it. That's a schedule. Thank you very much, Bryant and Tyler, for the $1 donations. Greatly appreciated. So I'm just going through the chat, guys. Just give me 2 seconds, because you can see on the screen, that's the chat box I'm dealing with. I need to figure out a better way to incorporate the chat. But it's literally only showing 10 comments at a time. So I've got to scroll through. Will Jessica Parker Kennedy be in The Flash Season 6? So essentially what they said obviously for those that don't know, Jessica Parker Kennedy is the actress who plays Nora, or Nora West-Allen if you want to be exact. They said that there's... I might bring up... can I bother bringing up the interview? I'll bring it up. Let me try and find the interview. If I can get it. So give me 2 seconds. But essentially they said something about there's a possibility. There's always a way to bring back Nora or something. Like there's multiple ways to bring back, not Nora, but Jessica Parker Kennedy, onto the show. So I found it right here. Let me get the quote. Okay, so it says, okay, it goes, and while viewers will bid goodbye to at least two characters, might one of them not be Nora? So they're basically saying that one of the characters disappearing might be Nora, and then it could be like Sherlock or something like that. They said, there are a couple of scenarios where you could see Jessica Parker Kennedy come back, says Todd Helbing, the executive producer. There are many, actually. So I don't know if they're going to basically treat Nora next season, or at least Jessica Parker Kennedy as an actress, almost like they treat Tom Cavanagh as Harrison Wells, where, you know, he comes back, but as a different character each time. That could be the case. I don't know how long you go with that for. I think I said in one of my videos, like, they could go and do where like the future changes and she's, say, like Dawn Allen but looks the exact same, or they could do it where maybe from another Earth she's Jenny Ognatz or something like that. I wouldn't say there's a ridiculous amount of possibilities, but I'd say there's like maybe 3 or 4 you could do, where maybe she's a different version of Nora herself, but with a name change, Jenny Ognatz or something like that. But I don't know. I think they'll keep her around. I swear to God, if one more person says the Batwoman teaser dropped, I'm going to scoop the eyeballs out. Yeah, guys, that official teaser that came out is the same one they released on the CW a couple of days ago. So it's nothing new. It's a couple of days old. Maybe I was a bit too forceful by saying I'm going to scoop my eyeballs out. But I think she'll stay around. If you look on her Wikipedia and her IMDb, she has nothing coming up. And she's been an actress that's like always done stuff. Might not be the lead character or anything like that, but she's always just been active, if that makes sense, in a show. So I think she's sticking around, but we'll probably learn in like the next couple of days what's going on with that. Especially when they get to upfronts and also when the finale comes out. You know, because I don't think she's going to die. I think she's just going to live in the future. But Silhouetted Animator with the $5. Thank you very much for that. Is 2049 the latest point in Eobard's life post-Flashpoint? Everything we've seen before him was his past self. Yeah, so essentially what they've said with this Eobard that's in the cell and we're going to be dealing with in the finale, he's the oldest version of Eobard that we've interacted with. So this is an Eobard that's a version of him has experienced the season 1 stuff. This one is the one that was at Crisis on Earth X, and then this is a version of Eobard that's been caught for 15 years past that. So whatever, you know, because he's been in jail for 15 years. So this is definitely the oldest Eobard we've interacted with and probably will ever interact with, unless this version continues on, we deal with him at a later stage. See, Reverse Flash is just a really confusing character, unfortunately, so it's really hard to explain specifically what's going on with him. But yeah, this is by far the oldest version we've dealt with by a minimum of 15 years because he's been in jail for 15 years. So who knows how long after we last met him in Crisis on Earth X he was running around before he got captured and put in Iron Heights in 2034, yeah. So he's old, but doesn't look extremely old. But hopefully we'll learn more about that in the finale. There's not a lot of time with the finale, but weighing up how much they'll deal with Cicada and stuff like that, they might be able to give us a decent amount of explanation about Eobard and how he ended up in jail and stuff like that in the finale. Hopefully the finale is just bang, 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 bang. There's no like downtime until the end, which I'm hoping is the case. Joe Giaco with $3. Thank you very much for that donation. Josh Allen with the $2. Destroying the dagger cause a time paradox. It should. For those that don't know, like essentially there should already be in a paradox, but anything around the dagger being destroyed. Actually, well, the fact like all and Dwyer having the dagger, but the dagger still being with Eobard in the future is a paradox in itself because is it too coincidental to make it that the dagger in both the David Hirsch timeline and the Orland Dwyer timeline of Cicada would both end up with Eobard, you know, stuck to his chest, and we know that certain things changed. It's confusing in regards to that. I don't think you could fully explain it in both for or against situation, but it's definitely a paradox regardless. Maybe they might explain it in the finale, but I don't know how you can explain it because it just doesn't really make too much sense in regards to that. Was that Josh Allen? Yep. Matty Giff with the €5. Thank you. It's so small on this screen, the little currency symbol, so I'm just basically having to like squint. But Matty Giff with the €5. Could Emiko come good and then save the future team? That's a possibility in the future. I think in present day, she's, evil. She's evil. There's no coming back from that. From what she did, she dropped a building on Oliver. But, you can be redeemed. You just can't be redeemed in 2 seconds. So in the finale, she's not good. But in the future, she could come back. I thought she would actually be appearing in the future scenes because C. Shimuka and like Catherine McNamara and some of the other future cast were sharing photos together. So I thought, okay, well, that means they must have maybe did a couple of scenes together, had off time together and stuff like that, and were just, spending time in Vancouver together. But that never happened. They never shared any scenes together in the future, which sort of surprised me. So, yeah, maybe she might appear in the finale. Maybe she's a secret hero in the city or from outside the city, but I have to wait and see. But I don't really see, in the present day at least, it wouldn't make sense, I think, if she came good right then. But maybe Oliver, in the finale, gives her a message that lingers with her over those years where she is good in the future. I'm lagging. I don't think I am. I think on my previous screen, I am as clear as crystal. I think I'm good. But let me know in the chat, am I lagging for anyone else? Anthony Diaz with $1. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for that, Anthony. Icebreaker with the €2. Will we ever see Matt Letcher again? I hope so. I'd like it that he is the Reverse Flash in Crisis next season. Obviously that's us assuming that that Matt Letcher, that Reverse Flash is in the Crisis. Sorry. But I don't know. It's hard to say whether he'd come back because Tom Cavanaugh's on a contract to the point where they can just use him and save money. If you can hear my dog, I'm pretty sure there's a cat outside. Cal, hey. Yeah, there's a cat outside. And I'm pretty sure it's teasing him. He's sitting like an absolute idiot. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I'd like to see Matt Letcher back, but I can't see it happening, unfortunately, just because I think it's just easier for them to use Tom Cavanaugh in the role. Lara E with the $5. Thank you very much for that. Barry need to tell them that when it comes to Reverse Flash, we will not trust him. The team needs to apologize to Ralph for ignoring him. Yeah, the whole Ralph thing is confusing as hell. Like, why didn't fair enough, like, maybe they're like, oh, nah, Ralph, it's something like that, whatever, like, I don't know, that was just a terrible, like, impersonation of the characters, but I can understand they're just saying, like, oh, we've thought about that, Ralph, or something like that, but the fact that no one listened to him, not even Cisco, just made me go, really? Because as I said in my review, I think it was, for that episode, I was like, if any other character said that, outside of maybe, not even, actually, I didn't include Sherlock, even though Sherlock's like on the Team Flash like negative scale, I guess, of recent. If any other character said that, they'd be like, wow, top 10 idea of the century. Wow, I can't believe no one else thought of that. That was amazing. But because it's Ralph, it's like, why are we even listening to you? Why are we even giving you the air to breathe in this facility? So that's the biggest issue. Now, hopefully Ralph takes the massive W, which he basically has, because he figured it out, but it's going to be interesting to see what happens in the finale where the other characters realize Ralph is right and they might listen to him going forward. But it's good that they gave Ralph that moment because that's a detective moment. And Sherlock, while not being like a consistent massive influence on Ralph this season, at parts has like guided Ralph as a detective, which I think is good. So we should see that continue in the future. Because I saw people saying that, is Hartley Sawyer living the role as Ralph? And I was like, no, because they gave him all this development as a detective this season, and I don't think they just let that wash away for no reason. It makes no sense to do that. Eric Barasa, hopefully I'm correct. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly. With the $5, thank you very much for that. You might have talked about it, but any updates on Cisco leaving? So I've talked about this in a video, so not on this stream. I think I might have mentioned on like a stream like a couple of maybe 2 weeks ago. The whole Cisco situation started pre-season. So I say pre-season like it's a sport, but it's the best way to say it. So before the season aired on TV, there were rumors coming out from around like Warner Brothers and the CW that Carlos Valdez wasn't re-signing his contract because he was looking for options past this season in like Broadway and theater, in specifically New York. So, from what I've heard, at least I've heard this through the grapevine, so it's not 100% confirmed or fact, but it lines up with what's happened on the show and outside the show and like the whole rumor stuff. So if you remember, some of you might know this, I talked about this before the season even started. It was like in one of those like rumor videos or rumor drops that people dropped that Cisco or Carlos Valdez was thinking about leaving. So essentially before the season started, Carlos Valdez, who plays Cisco, Daniel Panabaker, who plays Caitlin, and Tom Kavanagh, who plays what do you call it? Like all the different versions of Wells, whatever you want to call them. They re-signed their contracts, or they were meant to. Danielle and Tom did because of the whole directing thing they do, but Carlos didn't. But he eventually re-signed his contract partway through the season. I don't know necessarily what part in the season it was, but he did re-sign his contract. So from what I've heard, this is obviously from what I've heard, he is staying. But the show wasn't sure. But at least it's better than the whole Emily Bet Ricard situation, where the what do you call it? She left randomly and didn't really give them any notice that she was leaving. So that was a bit of a fail there in regards to the Arrow side of it. If I'm a person, as I said, like Hamza, I think I've seen you write the Batwoman teasers out like 3 different times now. Like, how is my hair? People always say that I have like that my hairline's going back. Have you watched my videos at all over like the 5 or 6 years I've done YouTube? I just have a massive fucking forehead. Sorry for swearing. I just have a massive forehead. Always had it. You know what that means? Massive brain. Massive brain. Massive brain under here. The most intellectual person you'll ever meet. Slade Wilson. Oh no. Oh yeah, Slade. Okay, I didn't answer this one. Sorry, Slade. Don't kill me. Slade Wilson with the $2. Yo, Pagey, don't. Oh, sorry. I thought it doesn't. Don't Team Flash take Ralph seriously. Is that meant to say like they just that they don't? I'm not sure. Is that a question? I'm sort of confused there, Slade. But well, they it's weird. Sometimes they do, but I think whenever it comes to like sort of sciencey things, or if he has a question about it, they sort of ignore it, which is a bit of an issue. So yeah, I don't know. Hopefully Ralph gets the respect. Especially, well, the thing is that he was right this season with the whole, I was going to say Thorn. Well, I guess it is Thorn thing, but Dagger thing. But he was also right last year with the DeVoe thing. Like, he was right for half of that season, and then he ended up dying, but he was also right. And then Barry realized, or dying, you know what I mean? Getting his mind taken over. And then Barry realized, oh wait, Ralph was right. So, yeah. Did I just wake up? I wouldn't say I just woke up. I've been awake for about an hour, but I'm definitely not. I guess I wasn't pretty for stream, if you want to call it. Do you think, Paige, do you think we can get Wally back in the finale? What do you think? Please answer, man. He was meant to. So Wally's only been in 1 episode. He was meant to be in 3. They said 3. No, they said 3 in total in the season. So. He was meant to come back. They didn't specify when. They just said he'd be in 3 episodes total this season. Kenan Lonsdale said that as well, who plays Wally. Unfortunately, that just never happened. It's not the Flash's fault. It is Kenan Lonsdale's fault, but I don't blame him because I think he knows that his character is just gone. Like, there's nothing much going on there. I feel bad for him because they must have given him like an excuse or some sort of reasoning as to why maybe they didn't feel the need to use Wally, but then they bring in Nora, who's just another speedster that's not as experienced as Barry and maybe needs some help, who is just a Wally type character. So I can understand if he was like, maybe he came up with an excuse to not come back. It wouldn't surprise me in the future if maybe Wally comes back for an episode, especially if maybe it was a contract thing where he was meant to appear in 3 episodes and he maybe said, look, I can't come back this season, I have some other stuff going on, can we save this for another season? And because they had Nora there, maybe they didn't feel the need, well, there isn't no need to rush Wally in if that's the case. So, he's not going to be back this season, but he could appear in like an episode or 2 in one of the other seasons coming out. Maybe next season he shows up, especially if Nora is in there for whatever episode that might be. So, yeah, keep your eyes out for that, but he's not going to be in the finale. My chest hair is poking out. Well, that's the sign of a man. The silhouetted animator with the $5. Do you think Batwoman will be the darkest Arrowverse show and have less formulaic writing? I don't know, because I'm interested to see how they go about Batwoman. I'm hoping they don't go the Supergirl route in some of the Supergirl seasons or some of the Supergirl arcs where it's very political. The synopsis for the Batwoman series is very worrying, because that's the worst version of Batwoman from the comics when they focus on that stuff. So hopefully that isn't the show. The fact it's on the CW makes me think that they might go down that route, which might turn away not general viewers, but I guess it matters who the general viewer is and like what they are annoyed by and stuff like that. Let's just hope it isn't too SJW, which is basically the bad version of Batwoman from the comics that no one really likes too much. But going by the synopsis, it seems that's what the show's going to be. Let's hope that the synopsis just was a weird write-up. In regards to being the darkest, maybe I guess it matters how they want to portray Kate Kane and maybe like the psychological stuff she's going through and everything like that. And who they have Red Alice there, who's the villain for the season, who should provide a pretty dark villain because she's basically Batwoman's Joker. But it's one of those things where I don't know. I'm going to have to wait and see. It is Gotham, so it should be darker. But as I said, it's just something that we have to wait and see because I'm not too sure. The trailer should give us a lot of answers, though, to all of that. Am I going to see Brightburn? Maybe? I don't know. Maybe? I'm not too sure. It looks okay, but I've heard it has issues. Fan of stuff with the $2.79 Canadian dollars. That was an American attempted accent. Anyway, with the hello. Thank you very much for that, fan of stuff, and hello back to you. How did Thorne end up in prison? I'm hoping that's one of the things we learn. Like, how did the dagger possibly get him locked up in prison, or how did he get captured, and then how did the Iron Heights people get the dagger? Hopefully that is all tied together. That's what I'm hoping. If Wally is not in crisis, then I am going straight to the DC offices and ranting, please. I would like to think he's in, because the thing is, and I'm sure a lot of you guys would agree with me, when Crisis starts on this season, and it's this massive thing where it's this world-ending event, multiverse-threatening event, and the whole Earth is in jeopardy. If every hero that is alive on the Arrowverse, and not just Earth 1, but the entire multiverse, does not appear and be like, yo, need some help? It makes no sense. What are they too busy doing? Oh, sorry. Was retiling the bathroom floor. Couldn't show up. Sorry. Had to do the washing. Look, mate, it was going to rain. If I didn't get it out on the line quickly, I was screwed. Sorry. Was cooking dinner. Couldn't show up. Like, seriously, the world's ending. So it makes no sense if every hero that is alive currently in the Arrowverse does not show up for Crisis. Makes no sense. Like, it really makes no sense. Cal, can you stop it, please? Sorry, my dogs just kept whining at the front door. So it makes no sense. What season is that thumbnail from? It's the finale for this season. It's Barryverse Reverse Flash in the finale. Are you excited for Watchmen? Yes, it was a short teaser, but like as soon as I heard the cast for that show, I was like, man, can't wait. And for those that don't know, like Warner Brothers owns HBO. Like Game of Thrones is a Warner Brothers show. So the potential of like DC, or certain DC things. Hold on, I've just scrolled up the chat, haven't I? Hold on, that should fix it. I just realized on the actual stream thing, it was all over the joint. Okay, so hopefully that's fixed. There we go. Okay, sweet. That was weird. But yeah, like on HBO and all the various things like that, like the potential for the DC shows and stuff over there is pretty high. I'm looking forward to seeing what they can do over there. Leak donations. The donations appear on stream. Like you can scroll up the chat and see who's super chatting and stuff like that. What's this? So I'm just scrolling through the chat. Do you think they'll change the Flash's suit in season 6? I did a tweet about this yesterday, and I don't really care too much about them changing the suit because I think the suit's good. Outside of the helmet, that helmet thing needs to go. And like, though, like the thumbnail I've used for this stream and stuff like that. Just when you have that season 6 suit against the Reverse Flash suit, or from all the way back in season 1, the body is fine. It's just that it needs a cowl. Like, it really needs a cowl, like one that looks like it just flips up. But when he has that helmet, it's like, that doesn't look believable at all. It doesn't look believable at all that this is happening. So that's something that just need to fix going into next season. It's just that headpiece. And I know it's done so it's comfortable for Grant Gustin to put on stuff. But Grant Gustin gets paid like almost $100,000 per episode or something for the show, or it's something like that. It's something massive amount. I think he gets paid enough to the point where maybe he can be, maybe a bit uncomfortable for maybe like a couple of hours per day. So anyway, fan of stuff with the $4 Canadian super chat. Thank you very much for that. We're saying hello again. Jupiter Carter with the £2. Did Thorne know Nora will come to see him one day? I don't know. I don't think so. I think it's just more that the opportunity presented itself for Thorne, and he just took it as soon as he could. So I'm essentially what I'm hoping we see in the finale in regards to Thorne is how he got in prison. So what put him in prison? Maybe how Ironhide's got the dagger, or maybe he got caught by the dagger or something like that. Whatever it might be, and then they show basically his version of events, if that makes sense, like how he planned out everything, all the stuff with Nora. That's what I'm hoping happens in the finale, which really shouldn't take up too much time. Like they could do like a quick montage, really, if they wanted to, like just him seeing all these events, like quick flashbacks, which could be like 30 seconds. And you know what? It's rushed, but that's all we need. They don't really need to spend too much time on it. Like they just need to name drop how he got caught, how they got the dagger, and then have a little like quick flashback of his like version of events, if that makes sense. That's all they have to do. In regards to Thorne, and that takes up maybe like a total of like 3 minutes in the finale. So there's not much you have to do there. But in regards to whether he knew about Nora coming to see him, I don't think so. I think it's just an opportunity, but the opportunity that presented itself, and he just thought about it quickly and went about everything. Dan Campbell with the Dan Campbell, yeah, okay. So I was just making sure I was doing the correct order. Dan Campbell with the $20 donation. Thank you very much for that, Dan. Hey, what the hell is going on? No, I don't really care. Just saying hello. Thanks for the flash updates. Thank you very much for that, Dan. Thank you for the generous super chat. Chad with the £1. Thank you very much for that, Chad. And then Louis Ruggiero, hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly, with the $2. Will we see the explosion of light in Crisis? I don't know. I'm interested to see how they go about Crisis. I'm sure everyone is, obviously. But I think, I'm sort of, it's like, what is it? I'm like anxious about it, just like nervous excitement, because I'm not too sure how they're going to go about it, how it's going to look on TV, and how it's going to end. But what I'm hoping is that it follows just the comic book storyline, but just, surprises us a bit. And for those wondering about a Crisis update, you know how I was saying, like, we should get that Batwoman trailer in, like, around a week from now? I wouldn't be surprised if we got some, like, Crisis reveals. Sort of like, I think it was at the CW upfront, last season, that they announced that Batwoman would be in the crossover for next season. They didn't announce what the crossover was. They just said that Batwoman would be in the crossover next season. It was at that thing, I'm pretty sure, the same event. So I'm hoping that we get some Crisis updates and maybe a name drop of a character or two that might be in Crisis. So they might confirm, not saying this is who they're going to confirm, but they can confirm Green Lantern's going to be in the crossover. They could confirm that Superman will be in the crossover. They could confirm that Batman will be in the crossover, or something weird like that. But that's for next week to talk about, and for us to listen and hope that they name drop or reveal some cool information. Thanos kills Nora. That would be an interesting twist. Matty Jiff with the €5 once again. Will they show pre-Crisis parts in other shows that people do not watch? Example, The Monitor and Arrow and Supergirl. Probably not. They might show them in Crisis. Is that what you mean? No. Well, they might show them like in Crisis or reference them, but for those that don't know, actually, well, this is the thing. If you don't watch, say, Supergirl, or you don't watch Arrow, or maybe if you just don't watch Supergirl, I'm guessing most people here just don't watch Supergirl. Supergirl in the finale has a massive monitor part, which I think is bigger than the Arrow monitor. So the monitor is going to be in both Arrow and Supergirl. He might be in Flash, but I don't know. I think Thorne's going to be that Crisis sort of setup teaser role, while I think Monitor and Monitor will be in just Arrow and Supergirl. But he could be in Flash as well, but I'm just expecting him in Arrow and Supergirl. But the Monitor's role in Supergirl is much more interesting than his role in Arrow, just because of who he's interacting with and what it's basically setting up. So yeah, I definitely watch it. If you're not doing anything, watch the Supergirl finale. Not this week coming; it's the week after. It's their second last episode this week. But the week after, you might just want to watch it on YouTube, because I'm pretty sure it's the last scene. I don't know. I don't think it'd be in the middle of the episode randomly. It might be like the second, like in those, like that last 5 minutes or last 3 minutes or something like that. But yeah. So I don't know. He might be in Flash. I would have no idea. Like, he was there. The guy filming, who plays the Monitor, was there when they were filming all the finale. So he could have easily done a Flash cameo, but I'd like to think that maybe just Reverse Flash is filling that role, but we'll have to wait and see. Scopes with the £4. Thank you very much for that. My favorite suit was Arrow season 4. This is a Flash, obviously. What was yours? Mine's season 4 as well, but it was just a bit baggy. Like, if that season 4 suit was a bit more fitting to Grant's body and it wasn't really baggy in weird areas, it'd be the perfect suit. It was my favorite Flash suit. What do you call it? Overall, in regards to the design and the look of it, it was just a bit baggy. And I don't know why it was baggy. Maybe it might have been that early on they needed to use the same suit for the stunt double as well. I'm not too sure, but if they just use that same design of suit and just made it a bit more fitting to Grant's body, then it would be the best. I was going to say the greatest suit. Can't say something is the greatest, because something could always come out and defeat it, but it's the best suit we would have had so far. So I was looking through the chat. Darkseid on Supergirl. You mean like Darkseid, the villain? I don't know. Is he meant to be? I don't think he would be. Sorry, I'm just scrolling through the chat. I know there's a super chat there for me to read out, but I just want to scroll through the chat before I get to it. I'm not a fan of this season's suit for the Flash. I understand that, like, but for me, I think the thing that's probably driving that for a lot of people is the helmet. Like, the helmet is really jarring. Like, it just sort of puts you off a lot. Like, it's really bad. Like, it's on certain angles it looks passable, but when you look at it at the back, on the side, you have to look at it at a certain front angle for it to look decent. But on like 90% of the angles you look at it, it's not a very good helmet looking thing. It just stands out so much. So hopefully in the off season they figure out a way to make it look better. Hopefully it's not the same thing. If it is, then we have to deal with another season of a dodgy suit. But that's for us to wait and see. I think they've heard the criticisms. Grant Gustin's obviously heard the criticisms, so I'd expect it to be at least the head area changed in coming up to season 6. The suit makes him look too skinny, and the helmet makes his head look too big. Well, yeah, it's because it's bulky and like it sticks out. It's not like a helmet that like slips on. I know it sounds weird, but it just seems like it sits on top of his head, like he's got like a watermelon, shell, if you want to call it, and he just plops on his head. It doesn't seem to fit, but it doesn't. Yeah, it's not like like a motorcycle helmet. When you put it on, it sort of like grips to your head a bit, so you can't like shake and your head doesn't wobble. That thing looks like it just like plops on top of his head, like a bowl or something like that. It just looks really weird. So as I said, they need to. I think that's, for me personally, that's the only thing they have to fix. But who knows? Maybe the suit gets destroyed again in the finale. Who knows? Because that's what happened in season 4, and that's why they had to change the suit. Sun Hendo with the $5. Thank you very much for that, Sun. Remember the past Eobard Thawne called Nora Dawn, indicating the timeline will change. Maybe Nora will exist in a paradox. Well, I think it was that because you got to remember that earbud that calls Nora Dawn is the earbud that came back, killed Barry's mother, but then got stuck in that present day. So maybe, I think we all think this is the case because Barry's mother was alive initially when Barry became the Flash anyway. So there's no real need to name his daughter Nora. There's no it's not like a dedication to my mother or anything like that because she's still alive. But once Thawne kills Barry's mother and she's not in his life anymore, that changes. And that's the timeline that we're in that we then traveled back to. So Nora West Allen, Barry's daughter, is named in honor of his mother. But that Thawne was in a timeline previously where Barry's mother was alive. So there'd be no need to honor, Barry's mother by naming his daughter Nora. If that makes sense. Hopefully I'm not speaking like an idiot, but hopefully that makes sense. So Nora mother version was alive. No need to name the daughter Nora, so she got called Dawn instead. Hopefully that makes sense. Does that make sense? I think it does. Lara E with the $5. Do you think that bad idea to have different version of Nora next season, considering how much people dislike her this season? Well, the thing is, I think Nora's had her moments where she is likable. The issue is that she was written as the focus of the season, which doesn't work. Like, Barry should always be the focus of the season. Even if he doesn't have the main storyline, everything we do in regards to timeline jumping and just main moments should be seen through Barry's eyes. This season's completely chucked that out the window, and it's been through Nora's eyes. And it just doesn't work, and it causes issues and confusion. Because I think Jessica Parker Kennedy is likable. So it's not like maybe some other actors or actresses which maybe don't come across as likable. They're tending to write. It matters what they do next season. Like, is it going to be the Nora from this season that comes back, or is it going to be a completely different version of a character for Jessica Parker Kennedy to play from the multiverse or across time? Who knows what's going to happen there or who she appears as? But I think she just has to be written consistently, because that's the issue. Nora is easily the most inconsistent character this season, so that's what they need to fix up. But the thing is, we don't know until we see that. We don't know what's going to happen until we see it. Paige only likes Nora because she's thick. But we'll leave that there. Silhouetted Animator with the $5. Episode 4 of Human Target 2010, a DC show set in the real world, had a reference to Crisis, where Monk was discussing the storyline to others. Oh, that's interesting. I knew of that show because they had Human Target and Arrow, and they had like the guy that played Human Target in that show as the lawyer, I think, in that Arrow episode from last season. But I never watched it. Completely honest, never watched it, but that's pretty cool, I guess. Paigey, why does Earbud have the dagger? Well, hopefully that's something I'm hoping they explain in the finale. Like, why does Iron Heights have the dagger to put on Earbud? Like, why is that the thing? Why is that the case? Like, how did that happen? You need more furniture? Well, this isn't my living room. This is just like the computer desk room, if that makes sense. So I can probably move my camera a bit and show you. There's the living room, and there's a packet of Skittles. Let me move this. I think that's the right place. Just make sure I can move and I don't get blocked by the chat box. Okay, sweet. Where am I? There we go. Right, the dagger is heavy. Paigey vlogs, but trust me, that's not going to be a thing that happens going forward. Will Flash use the negative speed force when She-Carter tries to kill Nora? I think Killer Frost is going to be there and save the day in that situation. I think that's what's going to happen. Kevin Ollie with the $2. Thank you very much for that, Kevin. Nora will be the new Wells of the show. That's a possibility. That could be, or if not the new Wells, like they use the Nora character as sort of like a take on what they do with Wells. Maybe just for next season. I don't think it should be a character that continues till the end, unless they just bring in a new character that they use as like how they do the different versions of Wells, like it's a different version from the multiverse or something, and that can just continue that same character going forward. But I don't know. I'm interested to see what they do there, because I have a feeling they're going to keep Jessica Parker Kennedy on the show. I just have this feeling that they're going to do it, but we'll have to wait and see. And then Gary, come on with the $2. Thank you very much for that, Gary. How will they explain Felicity leaving? Well, they've sort of set that up, like Alina and Felicity had that chat recently, keeping her safe and everything like that. And I think, I don't know, it matters what happens to Team Arrow. Like, are the Vigilantes completely on the run at the end of the season, or like what's happening there? So, yeah, like, from what I know, it seems like it's going to be rushed because Emily Bett Rickards didn't give them the like the news that she was leaving until late. So I think it's going to be fairly, not completely rushed, but fairly rushed in regards to how they go about it. But it's going to be interesting to see what they want to do. Parker Kennedy has already publicly said she's looking to be the next Buffy, but Jessica Parker Kennedy is like 34 years old and Buffy's meant to be a teenager. So I don't think that would work. Unless they're doing like mature Buffy, like, housewife Buffy or something like that. Paige, sicko mode or Mo Bamba? Oh, I have to come back to you on that one. That's a brain teaser. That's a brain burner, if you want to call it. Nora dies from reverse flash killing. He from the past or too much energy. I don't know. I don't think Nora's dying. I think she's surviving. I think she'll survive. I don't know. I have to wait and see though. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know if they'd kill her off. I don't know. I have to wait and see. Rumors say that Titans will be in the crossover since it is DC TV Crisis. All movie Earths will crossover in the Crisis for the movies, which they are building up for their Infinity War answer. I don't think Titans will be in Crisis. I highly doubt that'll be the case. Do you think we'll ever see the curation of the Flash Museum in present day? No, I don't think so. I'd be surprised if the Flash Museum is a thing past this season. Look at pictures. Nora is dying. Do you really think they'd put spoilers in the promo images? No. I hate the fact that they keep depowering Killer Frost. Yeah, it's depowering, but also just inconsistency with the powers. Like, she can do this, but then can't do that, or she does this one episode, but then can't do another episode. That's probably the biggest issue. So I'm just looking through the chat. I think Reverse Flash kills Cicada too. Maybe? I don't know. I don't know. Maybe? I don't know. I'm not too sure. Paigey, why is your name orange? Because people are saying Paigey, so it highlights it there. So if someone added you, like went at Kate or at Godman or at Scummy God, you would that if that's them, their name would appear orange, so they know that someone's mentioning them in the chat. Is Artemis alive? Who knows? That island blew up and she was on it, so who knows what happened there. Paige, I heard a rumor that season 5 ends with the Speedster trying to contact Barry from the Speed Force. How true do you think that is? I think that's bullcrap because that was made by one of those essentially. Okay, so I've mentioned this before in a stream, but I haven't mentioned it in like a month because I haven't really seen too much of these things pop up. But there were these Instagram accounts that were just literally making up fake things and spreading them as fact. And then people, I don't know why, were liking them and following the accounts and stuff, when literally these were like little kids making up this information. And I'm not, that's not me like saying, oh, if you're a little kid, you're an idiot. I'm just saying that they were just little kids who obviously were looking at accounts like Real World of Flash, and there's like Universe of Flash, and all those different, there's whatever of Flash Instagram accounts or Flash Fact Instagram accounts that post the legit stuff, but maybe weren't growing. So they made all these fake information that said like, oh, the insider leak accounts and stuff like that. They were literally all fiction. None of them were true. They basically got exposed heavily from the Godspeed stuff because they said that, oh yeah, I've got all this inside information about the Godspeed episode, and 100% of their stuff was fake. It was all made up, and they literally must have gained like 5,000 followers, if not more, off those fake facts. So yeah, basically don't believe Instagram unless it's like an official account that you know would be true. Anything under like 10,000 followers, don't believe it. That's just how I'm just gonna spread it out there because it was annoying me seeing all that crap. Monqua Edwards with the $2. Thank you very much for that, Monqua. What kind of Wells will be for next season? I don't know, because I don't think I'll do like, who thought they were gonna do like Sherlock Wells? Like, I don't think anyone thought that was gonna happen. But I don't know. I'm excited to see what they do. He might just be Eobard next season for a bit, but I don't think they'll do Eobard as the villain. I think it's a bit too soon to do that again, at least. But I'm interested to see what happens there. And then Azza with the £2. Thank you very much for that, Azza. Who do you think Arrow Season 8 main villain will be? I don't think there's really going to be a main villain. I think, if anything, they might continue the Ninth Circle stuff into Arrow Season 8, but minus Emiko. But yeah, because there's only going to be 8 episodes, because there's going to be, you're going to have 8 episodes, and probably the crossover, and then episode 10, which is the series finale, which, depending on what happens to Oliver, will be like a goodbye episode in 2 different ways. If he survives, it's just a goodbye episode in general. If he dies, then it's like a funeral episode and everything like that. So, yeah, I don't know. You can't really fit a main villain in there, unless it's like a really just quick main villain, and maybe it's a returning villain or something like that. But yeah, I don't think you could do a main villain unless they just continue the Ninth Circle stuff, which seems like they might, because they haven't really done too much with it in the back half. I heard the chin strap is going to come back in the finale or next season. There's people saying the chin strap was in the finale, but it was just like a set photo where Barry's hand is like covering his chin like that, and it looks like a chin strap, because obviously Barry has the red gloves, so it looks like a chin strap, because he's going like, he's not holding it against his face, but it's like slightly in front of his face, so it looks like a chin strap. But there's no chin strap in the finale, and I have no idea if it's in next season. Am I going to Comic-Con? Oh yeah, so for those that don't know, I got accepted to be like, for the press pass thing at Comic-Con really late, because I put my application in late, because I just didn't realize it was a deadline. So I am going, like, I've budgeted it out, and I'm like, yeah, okay, well, I can go. So I will be going to Comic-Con in like 2 months. So I'm sort of excited. Well, sort of. I sound like I'm not excited at all. I'm very excited that, because it's obviously something I've always wanted to go do. Wait, should I be like nice and sappy for a moment? Okay, where's the tissues? Don't get sick in your mind for me asking about tissues. So going to San Diego Comic-Con, but the only reason I'm actually able to do that is for thanks to you guys for supporting the channel. Like, they, if it wasn't for you guys watching the videos and subscribing and just making the channel grow to the point it is, I would never be able to go to Comic-Con. So, yeah, I should just say that. Like, I need to be like 100% honest in regards to that, and just be thankful to everything. So, yeah. So, but that's 2 months away. I'm looking forward to it, obviously, but I will talk more about it when we get closer to that point, if that makes sense. So that's me trying not to cry on stream. But yeah, but as I said, well, that's for then to talk about, not for now. Oh God, I've done this thing again. I need to sort out this streaming thing, okay, with this new computer. But anyway, will you broadcast? Will you broadcast from Comic-Con or do a meet and greet? Well, if you're there, I'll be there. So feel free to come up if you're at Comic-Con. And even if you just say, "Oh, I'm this person and I'm at this point," I'll come and meet you if you want. But in regards to broadcasting, I probably wouldn't do anything. I might film some stuff at Comic-Con and put in a video and stuff. But I don't think it's gonna be like Paigey goes to Comic-Con vlog day 1 or something like that. Because I'm not the type of person that will vlog that type of stuff. So yeah. What will you dress as at Comic-Con? I'm going to be dressing as typical Paigey in a black shirt. Sorry for like burping a bit. In a black shirt and some brown beigey shorts. Maybe some blue shorts. Blue shorts? I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Do you think they should have saved Slade as a villain for a later season instead of season 2? No, I think he fit good for season 2. I think didn't they say... No, he's always going to be season 2. I was going to say, didn't they say it was going to be season 1 or something? But yeah, it's always going to be season 2. I think it was the perfect point to put him there. Arrow season 8 villain is Malcolm Merlyn. That'd be interesting. What a twist. He's alive. Is Flash Year 1 good? Like the comic that just came out yesterday? I haven't read it. I'm going to wait till it's in a volume sort of thing to read it. I'm still 1 volume behind with the Flash that I needed to read. How is Reverse Flash going to get his suit? The ring? Didn't... He probably the ring? Are you going to do a video on the photos from the finale? Yeah, I'll do a video like tomorrow or the day after. There's a couple of things I want to go over from the Flash leading up to finale. And also an Arrow video as well for their finale as well. So that'll come out in the next couple of days. I just thought I'd stream today, you know, not force out a video, and then we'll just talk over the stuff over the weekend and stuff like that. Do you think Mia will be Speedy? I don't think so. I think if they were going to do anything like that, they probably would have already hinted at it, but who knows? I'm interested to see who dies in the Arrow finale as well. I think Felicity and Renee will die. Are you going to LOT? Am I going to do Legend of Tomorrow? Is that what it means? I will do a review for the finale of Legend of Tomorrow and a review for the finale of Supergirl, but I'm just not going to do them weekly because they've got 2 episodes left. So I'll do a finale review for both of those shows. Hello, Dear Heap Oop Roblox. Hopefully I don't know if that's the way you say it. Who do you think is faster, Barry or Nora? Oh, it's Barry, but Nora can like rewind time, so that's an advantage she has. Talk about Gary's nipple. Well, there's too much to talk about in regards to that. Why did the Flash TV show make Zoom and Reverse Flash 2 different characters when they're the same person in the comics? No, Zoom and Reverse Flash are 2 different characters in the comics. One is Professor Zoom, one is just Zoom. So Hunter Zolomon is Zoom. Eobard Thawne is Professor Zoom, and they are both holders of the Reverse Flash mantle. Reverse Flash isn't a character, like a single person. It's a mantle, just like how the Flash is a mantle, how Jay Garrick's had it, Wally's had it, Barry's had it, Bart Allen's had it. Yeah, so the Reverse Flash is a mantle as well, but it's just that usually when people refer to Reverse Flash, they're referring to Eobard Thawne, just like how when people usually refer to the Flash, they're talking about Barry Allen. So they are 2 different characters in the comics as well. Iris needs to become a writer again and leave Wells well enough alone. I'm not sure what that means, but yeah, she needs to focus on the writing aspect of her stuff. Mauricio Frost with the $2. Thank you very much for that, Mauricio. Future newspaper said David Cicada first victim was Floyd Belkin. Yeah, and then I think it said that Orland Dwyer's first victim was Floyd Belkin. I think in the Godspeed episode it said it, didn't it? Or something like that. I think it was that or something. Yeah, I think it was something along those lines. Are you visible, Cairo? I think you are. Hey mate, is Iris and Barry crying because the newspaper date changed to 2019 from 2024? Oh, do you mean Crisis? That could be it. Maybe they're crying because like, girl, Barry, your doom is coming in less than 8 months or something. That could be what happens. Maybe. Maybe? I don't know. That'd be interesting. Paigey, can you pray to Bebo that I get an A+ in chemistry tomorrow? Lord and Savior Bebo, bring us Ryan's A+. We'll deal with an A-. Thank you. Is Iris going to be pregnant? In the finale, they said they're going to give us a timeline for Iris getting pregnant or something. Or when children will be around or something like that. I don't know how that would be a thing. Like, necessarily like how that's going to come about or how that reference is going to come from or the context of it. But, yeah. I saw a set photo of Iris crying. Could it be because Nora dies? You'll notice in the promo images, or the trailers, they never really give away something that's too obviously spoilery, so I don't know. There would be no point to put that in the set photos or the promo images, sorry. If it actually is a spoiler, like Nora dies. As I said, you know what? Screw it. Let's just say it. Spoiler alert, I'm giving you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, I'm going to hold my hand up. When this hand goes down, that means we've stopped talking about the spoilers. Okay, so there's a scene filmed in the finale where it's Barry and Iris in 2049 and they're saying goodbye to Nora. There's the spoiler. So I don't think, unless that's earlier in the episode and then Nora has to come back in time and help fight them. I don't know. But I know there's a scene where, yeah, they are in the finale and they say goodbye to Nora. So the hand's going down. There you go. I said if the hand's up, I'm still talking about the spoilers. And the hand's down now, so we're not talking about the spoiler anymore. Yeah. Nora's character is basically Impulse from the comics. She is just female Bart Allen. That's literally what Nora is. Do you think Cisco will die? If so, do you think Reverse Flash will kill Musakata? I think Cisco will not die. I think he will be living. Is Zoom coming back though? I don't think so. I don't think Zoom's coming back. Your boy Zoom, I think, will not be coming back. Will they do a better Mirror Master now? Well, I'm interested to see like the mirror gun thing, because it's specifically called the mirror gun. It wasn't called like reflector gun or anything like that. They called it mirror gun. So does that mean they're gonna have a character come in and steal that gun, and then they become the new Mirror Master with a gun? You know what I mean? I'm interested to see what they do there, because are they setting up rogues for next? I don't know. I'm intrigued as hell. Or is that just meant to be like a little nod or something? I don't know. Who knows? Do I play rugby? Currently, no. I did play rugby. When did I stop playing? Like 4 years ago. Mauricio Frost with the $2. Thank you very much for that. Did Nora's suit look black in set photos? I think it's just the lighting, most likely. I think she's got that shade of purple, where it's a very dark purple, so it could look black. Because even like when Iris had that Speedster episode, there were photos where her suit looked like black on where it was purple. So I think it's just the lighting, you know. I think it's just one of those things. Reverse Flash dies in Endgame. Wow, spoiler alert. Do you want Red Death to be a villain? I don't mind him. It just matters how they use him. You know what I mean? Like, it seems like they're going to use him eventually, maybe next season, or he's going to be a villain at some point, whether he's just there for a couple of episodes or half a season. I don't mind him. It just matters how they do him, because they're not going to do it where it's Bruce Wayne, or hopefully it isn't something like a weird version of Oliver, or it's like Batwoman, because that just feels really forced. So yeah, it just matters how they go about it. That's the most interesting thing. Will there be more than season 6? I'd be shocked if Flash doesn't match Arrow. I've always said this. You can go back a couple of seasons. I always thought that Flash would match whatever Arrow got to. So Arrow's getting to season 8, so I'd expect Flash to get to season 8 as well, or it's season 7 at the minimum, because I guess Arrow's only getting half a season for season 8, so I don't think it really counts as a full season. Paige, 100% honest mode, Arrow or Flash? Overall, probably Arrow, and this season, I don't know, Flash is finishing stronger. Come back to me next week with that question, because I want to see how the finales end. Yeah, Canada Graphs is right. Like, Flash is a cash cow for the CW. They keep going until Grant wants to leave, which is the fact. For those that don't know, Flash makes around $1 billion a season for the CW. I think they made, like, the first seasons, for season 1 and 2, they made, like, over $1 billion. Like, it was like an over $1 billion property for the CW, and I think now it's like 800 to 900 million per season, which is a lot of money. That's ridiculous. So you talk about like a movie making $1 billion. Well, they're making $1 billion a season roughly, and then when you add in like advertising and product placements as well, they're probably crossing $1 billion each season anyway. What if Cisco does die by Reverse Flash with a vibrating hand? I guess it'd be a good callback, but we've already seen it, so yeah, I don't think that'll happen. I think basically everyone's safe in regards to death. I think the only one that was really threatened was Nora, but as I said, there's a certain scene. So they make millions but have terrible CGI. Well, it's not like that. They don't have $1 billion budget. They make $1 billion in revenue. So yeah, there's a difference there. How do I watch The Flash? I watch it on both my TV as well as on a streaming thing. So actually, people ask me, how do I watch The Flash when it's live when I live in Australia? So I use it sounds weird. No, it's not even disrespectful. It just sounds weird, but I use a military streaming service. So it's a site that military people, like people in the US military that are stationed in like, you know, obviously places that don't have American TV, that you can use this site to, you know, tune into the news, watch sport, watch TV shows, and it's like live from America. So that's what I use. It's called just simply US TV. I think .com, I think it is. But yeah, it's the best site to use it if you want to watch it live. You live like in America or something like that. Oh, not in America, like you live in England, or even if you live in like California, dude, and want to watch it when it's on in New York and watch it when it's first, you can use this site. You have to pay for it to get, like, you can not pay for it, but it's terrible quality. So if you pay for it, you yeah, it's sweet. It's really good. That's what I use. What quality is the stream? It's in 720. I think 720 is the highest you can get to. I don't think it gets to 1080, but yeah, obviously you need half decent internet to stream it at 720, but it's very good quality. It's definitely worth it, especially for this. Yeah, it was pretty crap a couple of years ago, but I've only started really using it like of recent, like the past, well, this season, this whole season I've been using it. What if the Reverse Flash becomes the big bad for season 6? Hopefully that isn't the case, because I've been saying that, like, if they're going to use Reverse Flash again as the villain, you save until the last season. That's like the perfect time to use Reverse Flash as the villain again. The last season, it just comes like full circle on the show. Who's a better villain, DeVoe, Savitar, or Cicada so far? If DeVoe was DeVoe the entire time, it'd be DeVoe. The biggest issue with DeVoe is that they went away from Neil Sandilands. Like, the reason that DeVoe worked as a character was because Neil Sandilands was just extremely good in the role. So if they had him there the whole time, I think DeVoe would have been a much better character. But it's DeVoe has the same issue with Cicada, where they're introduced too early. And I said this before, you don't introduce a character, your main villain, too early. Like, if Cicada was introduced episode 6 or 7, much cleaner story. But the reason that they introduced, and I was talking to someone about this earlier, the reason that they brought Cicada in so early was so they could do that 100th episode where they time travel. I'm certain that's why they did it. I reckon they planned that 100th episode out before they planned out the Cicada stuff. So, you know, because you can't introduce Cicada in episode 6 or 7, and then episode 8, they're like, okay, we've run out of options. We need a time travel to build a device. You know, it's too rushed. So, yeah, DeVoe, because Savitar was like cool when he was in the suit, but as soon as he stepped out of the suit, even towards the end there, because he became like a bit of a wimp. But as soon as he came out of the suit, you're like, oh, what? Yuck. Ruined. Completely ruined. And Cicada, as I said, it's got the same issue with DeVoe. Introduced too early. I think if Cicada was introduced a bit later, it'd be a much more consistent villain. So, yeah. I'd say DeVoe out of those three. But it's really picking out of like the minnows, if you want, or the minor villains, if you want to call them. Or the minor big bads, if that makes sense. Like, obviously, Reverse Flash and Zoom are always going to be like the upper echelon. I've failed. I don't know, Ben. Musical episodes in your top 3, so that says everything. Do you think a time jump should occur after Crisis around 6 or 7? Around season 6 or 7, sorry. Probably not, but I am interested to see like what happens post Crisis. Like, because I don't know, I'm sure they'll let us know at this maybe CW upfronts what's going on, but I'm interested to see, because this year with the crossovers, the Elseworlds, this year with the Elseworlds crossover, so the crossover episodes were episode 9. So will that be the same with Crisis? Will Crisis be in episode 9 as well? So basically the crossover episodes for Crisis are the mid-season finales, or they're the last episodes of the shows until they go on their mid-season break, then come back outside of Arrow. Because I think it'd be cool if Arrow had that 10th episode on its own week, and it's like a post-Crisis sort of episode. Yeah, so I'm interested to see what they do post-Crisis, which makes me think that there might not be any like main villains set up at the end of the season for next season, because you have Crisis, which could be a massive change, like a game changer. So I don't know. I'm very intrigued to see what they do. Paige, what is your favorite season finale of The Flash? Episode 1, season 1, easily. I think that's borderline like a perfect Flash episode, that season 1 finale. Should the first 9 episodes of season 6 all be built up around a Crisis? Yeah, maybe, but also just maybe like whatever the situation is, like whatever the cliffhanger is, like dealing with that cliffhanger leading into season 6, as long as it's not a villain. I don't know. It matters what they want to do with Crisis. I guess Crisis is meant to be this massive change thing for the Arrowverse, or is just this big event where maybe like a handful of things change, but nothing too major. That's what matters, whatever they want to do with Crisis. Say my name, Ice199. Will we see Gorilla Grodd use Speed Force like the comics in the CW show? Maybe, but I wouldn't expect it. Maybe next season when Grodd shows up, they can do it. Will they still do crossovers each season with Oliver dying, and do you think they could time travel to bring in Oliver from the past to help? Well, the whole reason that Arrow is ending is because Stephen Amell wants to spend time with his family. So I don't think they'd do anything where they'd have him there as an intensive role or a time intensive role, because that's the reason he's leaving, to have more time with his family. But what was the actual question? I just completely forgot about it. They'll still do crossovers. However, I think the crossovers in regards to like because you know how like the crossovers really revolve around like Barry and Oliver's friendship. I think going forward, it's probably going to be between Kara and Supergirl and Batwoman, maybe. I think Barry's still going to be the head honcho, because Flash, it's the most viewed show. But I think that friendship thing will be Supergirl and Batwoman. Do I like cheese? I don't like cheese on its own, but I like cheese on or in stuff. You know, I don't really like eating cheese on its own. I'm just not a big solo cheese fan, if that makes sense. Was Cicada overpowered? Not really. I think Team Flash was just really silly how they handled them. What if we see Reverse Flash behind Paige? Well, that's a worry. Definitely give me the heads up if that happens. You missed... Did I? Oh, sorry, Mauricio. It's just that there was a couple from you, so it sort of got like banked up, and I just thought it was the same one. Mauricio with the $2. Thank you very much for that. I heard Danielle Panabaker was begging for a costume. Hi from Ogden, Utah. Is that what UT is? I think Utah, man. Yeah. She needs a new costume, Killer Frost. So hopefully next season. Because the one she's wearing at the moment is like the one that she wore at the end of last season when they went for that, when they went to like the Argus facility or something. It's basically that suit with like, I think like a different belt or something. It's basically that exact same thing. Paige, did you see the Batwoman trailer? Is this another troll? I swear, if there's just the same goddamn teaser. Okay, it is. Okay, so I've seen the teaser. It was uploaded like a couple of days ago on the CW. So I've seen it on Twitter and stuff. So the official trailer will come out probably like a week from now when the CW upfronts are there. Josh Allen with the $2. I hope your spoiler is accurate. Smiley face. Is that about the Nora thing? I'm not too sure if that's what you're talking about. But whatever it is, hopefully it's accurate as well. And then Callum with the £2 as well. Sorry for yawning. Ooh. I think they should make I think they should make make Crisis a movie like MCU. So you mean like how Endgame is there? Yeah, Crisis will be a very, very cool movie. It's the thing is that it's you have to deserve Crisis because it's such a game changer in regards to the multiverse and stuff like that. And you have to introduce the multiverse and deal with the multiverse for a handful of movies. So if they ever did Crisis in the DC movie stuff, it wouldn't be until like 20 movies in. Like a handful of those movies have to deal with the multiverse as well. So yeah, they'd have to do that. But guys, I'm actually going to end the stream here. We've been streaming for an hour and 13 minutes. Thank you guys for helping, support the chat. We'll go through the super chats quickly. So thank you to Ronnie, Brandon, Archit, Joe, Bryant, Tyler, Silhouetted Animator, Josh Allen, Matty Jiff, Anthony, Icebreaker, Lara, Eric, Slade, Fan of Stuff, Jupiter, Dan, Chad, Louis, Scopes, Sunhendo, Kevin, Gary, Monqua, Azar, Mauricio Frost, Monqua. Oh, did I say Monqua already? I think I did. There's your double shout out, I guess. And then the last one, Flash Freak 508 with a $5 super chat. Thank you very much for that. Crisis is like Arrowverse version of Endgame. By the way, you're a great YouTuber. Keep up the good work. We are the Flash. We are indeed the Flash Freak. Thank you very much for that. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the stream. I'll have videos out over the weekend. Looking forward to the finale week for Arrow and Flash. And yeah, so I'll catch you guys later. And goodbye.